What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool have absolutely trounced Leeds United by 6-1 at Elland Road in a season where our away form has been the worst in 30 years. This is a nice way to start to turn the corner and put things right. You know the drill by now. I'm going to go through and give each of the players a score out of 10. Ask you guys to play along in the comment section. And of course, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, well, please do. Before I do though, a special word from our sponsors, or to our sponsors. They have just unleashed this brand new game. Match 5 numbers in 5 fixtures to win 1 million quid in cash. You know what to do. Scan the QR code in the top right hand corner of this video. All you need to know is that you need to be a UK resident, you need to be aged 18 or over, and it is a gambling product, so please gamble responsibly. If you would like to get £5 in free bets when you deposit and place your first £5 of bets, simply use our referral code anfieldagenda, all one word, on sign up, and our friends at Circl will make sure, if you follow those steps, that your £5 in free bets is credited to you. Right, let's get stuck into it and let's start to go through the player ratings, starting with the big man, Alisson Becker. And look, it's very difficult to give him a score out of 10 when he quite simply had nothing to do. He couldn't have done anything about Ibrahimovic mistake that led to the goal, so I'm not going to go in on Alisson Becker about that. Let's just give him a score of 7 out of 10 and move on to the next gentleman. So 7 for Alisson, and now we move on to Trent Alexander-Arnold, and this is where it starts to get a bit more fun, right? Trent has been, well, he's been revitalised in this new role that Jurgen Klopp has given him. Call it a dual 6, call him a regista, call him a quarterback, call him whatever you like. But I tell you what, he won't be calling him is terrible, because he was absolutely fantastic today. The full range of repertoire from Trent was on display, and I think we have to give our manager immense credit for coming up with this little tweak that will get the best out of Trent. Yes, it's asking Ibu to do a lot more, but Ibu is, a man of many talents. So Trent Alexander-Arnold today was quite simply imperious, my friends, and I'm going to give him a score of 9 out of 10, but yet he wasn't my man of the match. That will go to another gentleman very soon. But Trent Alexander-Arnold was brilliant today, and again, full shout out, full credit to our manager for the little tweak in system. Now we move on to Ibrahimovic, who, yes, he made a big mistake, and yes, it cost us a goal. You could see the disgust in himself written all over his face, but I can't hide the fact that he's an immense defender. And we have got ourselves one hell of a bargain from RB Leipzig with the money we paid for Ibrahimovic. I'm going to give him a score today of 7 out of 10. And look, I'm fixing the scores there, by the way. The other one, sorry, I didn't cover up Trent's score. I'm going to give Ibrahimovic a score of 7 out of 10 today, because he does get docked a point for the mistake. But look, tell me he had a bad game. He didn't. He's absolutely immense. And he's more than capable of covering for Trent as well. His recovery pace is there. His determination is there. I just love the big man. So massive shout out, massive love to Ibu. And I said, if you're going to make a mistake, let it be in a game that you win 6-1. Right, we'll move on now to his centre-back partner, Virgil van Dijk. Tough game to judge Virgil on this one, actually, because, again, didn't have too much to do. I thought it was a bit snidey with that push that he gave the Leeds player before he swung for a shot. And this is something I think Virg has to be a little bit careful with, because we get away with it. We got away with it today, but some referee might just say, nah, enough is enough, and give a penalty for it. But look, I thought Virg was good today. Hopefully we can get him back to his brilliant best, but I think it's fair to say the man alongside him is starting to become a leader at the back, and I love the big man, but I also love this big man. So Virgil van Dijk today, I'm going to give Van Dijk a score of 8 out of 10. Moving on to the next player in the Reds team, and that is Andy Robertson, my choice for future Liverpool captain if Jordan Henderson ever hangs up his boots. I thought Andy Robertson again today was really good, full of fire, enthusiasm and energy. Some great work down the left-hand side, and look, there isn't going to be any low scores, because they were all brilliant today. Robertson, I mean, I think he can be very happy with his evening's work. I'm going to give Robbo a score of 7 out of 10. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Moving on to the next player, and that is Fabinho, a player whose position may well be under threat in the future, with Stefan Bajcetic to come back next season with an influx of midfielders about to come in. But he did himself no harm today. He picked up his yellow, his 9th one of the season, I think, which seems to be nailed on every game, and his legs are starting to go a bit. I can't hide that. I still do think his best days are behind him. But today, I thought he was quite good in midfield, so like Robertson, I'm going to give Fabinho a score of 7 out of 10. Moving on now to El Capitan, Jordan Henderson. Really strange to see how far forward Jurgen Klopp looked to utilise Hendo today. I mean, yes, we know Trent was dropping into the double pivot with Fabinho in the 6, but Hendo was the furthest of all our midfielders today, and I can't lie, it surprised me. I really did think that if we were going to have a midfielder that far forward, it was going to have to be Curtis Jones. But you know what was different about us today? The energy in midfield. And Hendo was part of that, but our press was on point. It's no coincidence that we scored 2 goals from winning the balls back higher up the pitch. And again, Klopp got it spot on today. So Jordan Henderson, good game from the captain. I'm going to keep the 7s going and give Henderson a score of 7 out of 10 as well. Moving on to my Anfield agenda man of the match today, and that is that gentleman right there, Curtis Jones. And I am more than happy to carve myself up a massive slice of humble pie and say that I was wrong about Jones based off what we're seeing. I was wrong about his development stalling. He's nailed on to start the next game. He's been absolutely a huge part of the energy levels we've suddenly got back in midfield. His drive today was perfect. His vision was spot on. And I think he's undroppable at the moment. And I hope it continues, because this is the Curtis Jones that we want to see. We are aware that he'll have to be managed with that ongoing injury around his ankle or his heel. But credit where it is due. Curtis Jones was top-notch today. My Anfield agenda man of the match. And I'm going to give him a score of 9 as well, alongside Trent. But just going to give the nod to Jonesy for the man of the match today. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Diogo Jota, very, 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 very mixed game, but ended up being a magnificent game from Diogo. In the first half an hour, I think I counted 7 or 8 times he gave away possession, and he didn't look sharp. But then in the second half, he just became this completely different assassin. And he was an assassin. His finishes were amazing. One just lifted over the oncoming Meslier, gave him no chance, and the other one a sweeping strike into the bottom corner, in off the post, and with his arrogant Cantona-esque turn to the Leeds United crowd. I'm here for it. More of this, please, from Diogo. If he can just push aside those silly little mistakes giving the ball away, again, you're just looking at an incredibly intelligent footballer. So even with that, it's a score of 8 out of 10 today for Diogo. Take a bow, my friend. Those goals were magnificent. Moving on now to Mohamed Salah. And again, Sky Sports gave Mo man of the match today. And again, another great display from Mo. Took his goals, I should say, very well. Looked full of energy. Looked like he was getting involved a lot more. And against Arsenal, I think he had 9 strikes on goal, which was the most for him this season. So again, getting back to his best. And with a team lifting around him and playing better and full of energy, it's no accident that we're starting to see the Egyptian king getting on the goal scoring sheet again. So Mohamed Salah, very good performance today. Just below Trent and Jones for me in score-wise. 8 out of 10 for Mo. But look, 2 goals, nothing wrong with it whatsoever. Keep it up, Mo. Cody Gakpo, I love him. I love him, folks. I absolutely love Gakpo. He is everything that we need with Bobby Firmino moving on, and he's got that goal scoring instinct. He's got a great touch and control for a big man, and he's involved in a lot of Liverpool's attacking play. Brilliant. I love it. More of this from Cody Gakpo. Score of 8 out of 10 for him today as well. Look, Leeds United fans will be rightly a little bit confused about why his goal was allowed to stand, but it was to do with the build-up not being immediately spotted by the ref. Once that handball happens and the ref doesn't pick it, because it was a 1-2 played and then the cross from Trent, they can't bring it back through VAR. So I understand where Leeds fans are coming from, but I also don't care, because it ended up in this man scoring. So Cody, going to give him a score of 8 out of 10 today as well. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Right, this is where we start to move on to the subs bench now, and Darwin Nunes got himself off the bench and got himself a very, very tidy goal. Really good turn, really good touch, and a great finish into the bottom corner. Have to say, I was a bit confused as to why we didn't see him starting. You know, we can't really afford to have the luxury of a player who could potentially cost €100 million being on the bench week in and week out, but I hope this starts to give him more confidence. Maybe Klopp's trying to manage him through this season. Maybe there's an niggly injury or something we're not sure about, but great to see him come off the bench and get a goal. You get a goal off the bench, you're definitely getting an 8 from me. So there we go, Darwin Nunes. Look at him. He's such a handsome bastard. My wife doesn't think he's good looking, by the way, and I'm not having it. I'm not having it, folks. I mean, look, how can I, as a man, look at that specimen of a fella and then turn to my wife and hear the words, I don't think he's good looking? She's married to me. You know what I mean? And she's saying he's not good looking. Anyway, how great is it to see Lucho back on the pitch? It really did just lift my heart to see him warming up on the sidelines. Klopp made 4 changes at once, gave them all a big hug before he came on, and it's going to take time for Lucho to get back to his best, but this is the start of it. This is the start of the recovery. This is the start of Diaz being back again, unleashed on the Premier League. I'm going to give him a 7 because I don't really know how to score him from the bits and pieces that he had coming on, so let's just keep the positive vibes going forward. Now we move on to this man, Bobby Firmino. The travelling cop were belting out Si Senor. Those teeth were shining like a bat signal up into the nighttime sky in Leeds, and I'm here for it. I love it. It's going to be a sad day when Bobby Firmino leaves the club. He's brought us so many moments of joy. Almost had himself a goal today as well, with a little flick that Meslier managed to block. But again, we're going to keep the 7s rolling here for Mr. Firmino. And again, we'll just enjoy him. Enjoy him while he's here. Moving on now to this young gentleman here, James Milner, the Benjamin Button of football, some might say. Look, I don't know where to go with this really. You bring Jimmy Milner on to see out games, and that's what he does. I think the first thing he did when he came on was clatter into one of the Leeds players and let him know he was here. And that's Yorkshire Granite right there, my friends. That's his hometown club. So Jimmy Milner, just for that, you know, I'm here, deal with it, I'm fouling you 7. There you go for James Milner as well. And lastly, but not least today, look at this man. Thiago Alcantara. It's okay to feel things when this man plays football. It's okay to admit you are a Thiago sexual. The best of us are. I love him. I love him to bits, and I know at least we've 1 more year left of him at Liverpool Football Club, and I hope it is a productive year. I can't really give him too much other than a 6 for his little cameo off the bench, because it really was just that, a cameo. So that is it, my friends. We have gone through the entire 11. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section of my player ratings. Do you agree on my man of the match being Curtis Jones? And also, how great was it to see Lucho finally step foot back on the pitch again? I want to give credit to our manager here today, because he came up with a system and an 11 that absolutely did work, and that reinventing of Trent looks like a stroke of genius from Herr Klopp. So look, that is it from me, my friends. I look forward to catching up with you guys real soon. Again, massive shout out to our sponsor Circl. You can join us by scanning that QR code in the top right hand corner. Talk to you soon. Bye bye. 6-1.